Hey guys, welcome back to Boxbread. I'll get on to the Lara Martirosyan fight, which is happening this evening, in a minute. Just firstly wanted to briefly address the minority of commenters on my videos who are saying things like, oh, you're boring, etc, etc. You know, there are many people in this world who are paid a lot of money to entertain other people. You're probably subscribed to them on some form of cable network TV. Here's the thing, I'm not one of those people. You watching my videos and watching this channel is, from my end, free. Okay? So, continue commenting by all means. The good thing about YouTube is that it does teach you, if you make videos, to deal with criticism, which is a good thing, it's a good advantage, a good trait to have in life. But if you think I'm going to come out in the next video all singing, all dancing, being someone I'm not, then you've got another thing coming. This is me, this is Boxbread, and the actual real boxing fans who watch my channel can probably vouch for me that what I do here is give my opinion on boxing, and for the majority of the time I know what I'm talking about. So that over with, let's deal with this fight that's happening this evening. Erislandy Lara is going up against Martirosyan for the WBC light middleweight title eliminator. I believe that's Saul Alvarez's title. Now this is a good fight because both of these guys are highly regarded. I mean, Erislandy Lara's been in a few pretty good fights now for with the likes of Carlos Medina and Paul Williams. A couple of controversial ones in there. But he's been at a decent level now for a few fights. Vanez is one of these guys who has been talked about a lot for a while now, and he's been quite highly regarded in the sport for a while, but he has never really seemed to have big fights, and this is pretty much the first sort of big fight, big name if you like, in boxing that he's fighting, if you can call Erislandy Lara a big name. And I like the fight. I'm glad that he's finally coming into this level of opposition, and I think it's a relatively competitive fight, and on first instance it is quite a difficult one to pick, but the more I looked into it, the more I come to the conclusion that I believe that Erislandy Lara is going to win by a decision in this fight. Let's talk about Vanez first. Positives for him: he's very good straight punch thrower. You don't see him throwing a lot of really wide punches unless he's going to the body. He's got a good jab and he throws a lot of good straight punches. That's a very good thing when going in attack. He's very good on the front foot. He uses this to apply quite a lot of pressure, and I just like the fact that he throws a lot of straight punches and he seems to keep a decent high guard. He does good basics like that right. I think he has the volume advantage in this fight as well. I think he's a slightly more aggressive fighter for the most part than Lara. Not that Lara's not ever aggressive, but I think Vanez, looking at both guys, I think Vanez tends to be a slightly more aggressive and very, like I said, very come forward. Looking at some negatives now. The first thing is I've mentioned he's good at throwing straight punches, but he's a very straight line fighter. He's just coming straight forward and he doesn't really use angles, which I think is a key in this fight. So he's very straight line, kind of one-dimensional, I guess, in that aspect. He has fought, as I've said, lesser competition than Lara, in my opinion. He's not fought like an elite level fighter, like Lara fought against like Paul Williams, who was elite at the time. He also sometimes gets carried away. If you look at his fight against Saul Roman, he was down in the first round. Now he was getting to and catching Roman with those straight punches, and I think he got a little bit carried away, and Roman counterpunched him and put him down. Now he went on to give Roman a beating in that fight. He stopped him later in the fight. But having said that, it sort of cements and solidifies my opinion that Martirosyan can get carried away a little bit if he starts getting a bit of success. He needs to stay patient, okay? He needs to really stay patient, work the jab. Even if he's getting success against Lara and he lands a few shots, don't get carried away. Don't be jumping in there, because Lara, who I'm going to move on to now, has counter-punching ability, and he can take advantage of that. Let's look at Erislandy Lara. You know, back in around, I don't know, 2010-ish, 11, actually probably 2011, Lara was still relatively unknown in the early part of that year, I believe. This is before he fought Carlos Molina. I believe that I did a video for one of his fights and I said, you know, watch out for this guy. I think he's pretty good. It turns out he is pretty good. Positives for him, he's elusive. He's a bit more of a lateral mover than Vanez, in my opinion. And I think that lateral movement and angles that he throws are going to win him this fight. So, he's more elusive, more lateral movement, throws from more different angles to Vanez, who's far more straight line. I think he's better at moving backwards, or I've seen more evidence of Lara being able to box moving backwards than Vanez. And like I said, he's fought, so far up to date, a bit of a high level of competition. He's been in this sort of fight before, whereas I think Vanez is really stepping up here. Negatives, like I said, I think that he may rely on counter-punching, and I think the volume may be in Vanez's favour in this fight. And if Vanez can keep pressure on him and outlanding him, and whilst, you know, executing a game plan that keeps himself relatively safe, it could cause a bit of a problem for Lara on the scorecards. I think there is evidence that Lara can be outworked. There's evidence that Lara can be pulled into a fight that's close enough where the judges can sway it the other way. Against Carlos Molina, he earned a draw. Now Molina is an extremely good boxer. He's very good at making his opponent look bad. So it's no surprise that that fight was a difficulty for Erislandy Lara. Many people felt that Molina won that fight, okay? But he got the draw out of it. In the following fight, he faced Paul Williams, and the opposite happened to him. Many people felt he won that fight, but he actually officially lost the fight. But, you know, he was again up against a guy in Paul Williams who had high volume, okay? And he was able to land the more meaningful punches. I think we're going to see a similar one in this fight. I think that he's going to be able to land the more meaningful punches on Martirosyan than the other way round. And perhaps early on, Vanez may give him some problems trying to push him back and pressurise him. But I think that Lara will be able to slowly work his man out and actually counterpunch Martirosyan. So that, you know, the last negative aspect I said was this could be close on points, because Lara sometimes does suffer from not clearly winning fights, not doing enough to clearly win rounds. And, you know, he may land more meaningful punches, but maybe the other guy will land less meaningful punches, and the judges will favour the more aggressive, more volume style of a guy like Martirosyan, who I think can pull that off. But like I said, through that breakdown now, you know, can either guy be stopped? Vanez has been down. Vanez also contains, you know, power in his fists, and so does Lara. You know, they both are around either side of the 60% mark. I think Vanez has slightly higher KO ratio than Erislandy Lara, but I think both of these guys can hurt the other guy. I think there's more chance that Erislandy Lara would stop Vanez Martirosyan later on, because I think the angles and the counter-punching could pay off for him. But I'm actually going to go for this by distance, because I think Vanez is quite a tough character, quite a tough guy, and this is a good opportunity for him. So I think Erislandy Lara takes this running away, and I think that he wins a unanimous decision on the night. So, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you guys think. I always value your comments below my video. Let me know who you think is going to win this fight, if there's something I've missed, or something you want to bring to my attention. Enjoy the fights, guys. This is Boxpred, and I'm out.